Всем привет, с вами Данила Барбаш, мы продолжаем проходить NBA 2K13. Что ж, поехали! Я сейчас слегка поиграл в дрился, подработал слегка опытом и скачал себе припоинтер.
It's a road game for the Kings, and they're facing an interconference matchup in today's game. This is 2K Sports bringing you the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan, calling the action with my broadcast.
Тут. Ты неужели доперла?
Here's the Cobra. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make, but when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make.
They now take the lead.
Ну чё, уже столько понарушали, что он будет бонус?
So for the Kings, they come in off the loss to Dallas.
Yeah, every guy on the team could have done more in that game. I believe that. But instead, there was a lot of standing around and bad ball
Да
movement.
ты чё, лошара?
Right, Steve. I mean, there was plenty of blame to go around.
Ломайте,
They got to be included. They needed to do something to shake things up, but just stood pat. So everybody shares in the blame on this one.
Beyond the arc. Prisbilla with the rebound. Now Udrich. He passes to Henson. Over Outlaw. Kicks it out to Ellis. This one for three. And that one's good.
Он трошку забил.
Here's Thornton. No good on the buzzer beater. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through one.
И меня посадили, и опять они всирают, суки такие.
Here's the Cobra. From deep. Milwaukee with the rebound. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
Well, they were lucky it wasn't a blowout because they didn't put forth a very strong performance in that one.
They just couldn't find anything to work for them, Steve. No matter what approach they used, it was futile.
So with Ellis sitting on the bench, here's the group that Scott Skiles has on the floor. Hanson and Dallenberg, the lengthy combo inside. Udrich out there with Jennings. And it's Dunleavy in at the three slot. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Kevin, the Cobra in the last game against the Mavericks, well, he had an off game. He had 9 points and did a good portion of his work from the free throw line as he drew a good number of fouls. The iron was quite uncomfortable. After shot ricocheted off the rim. He'll be looking to have a much better timeout this contest, Kevin.
Doris, thanks. And Clark, we all know he wants to come out here and move on.
And you have to, Kevin. I mean, last game was last game. You got to forget about it. Tonight's a whole nother story. And we'll be watching how he approaches it.
That's one of the biggest things in the NBA. 82 games, you're going to have some bad ones. So
Ты
how you
не
respond to
я
adversity
забил.
really defines you as a player. They can't seem to stop anybody inside.
They got to know that if they don't make life tougher in the paint, the opponent is just going to keep going there. I mean, it's not like they'll get tired of all these in-close opportunities.
Jennings kicks to Udrich. Shoots from the elbow. That's good. Udrich has got his second bucket of the night.
Well, Keith Smart took over for the Kings on an interim basis last year. That's the third time that he's taken over that role in his NBA career. Coached 49 games in Cleveland. Also took over for Golden State 2 seasons ago, but the Kings gave him an extension, and he's the head coach in Sacramento now.
They're doing much better now. I mean, in the first quarter, they converted less than 30% of their field goals, but they've bounced back nicely here.
Да пошел ты в жопу. То что ты сломаешься, дура.
The shot from the wing. And the Kings players seem to be responding well to Coach Keith Smart. Wouldn't you say, Steve?
Yeah, they've played hard for him. You know, I think he
Какой
came in at
нахер
the right
фол?
time. The team was in disarray and really were not happy with the previous coach. So he kind of came in at a time where they were looking for somebody to lead them. And I thought his special pet project was DeMarcus Cousins, really an important part of this team's future. And Smart did a nice job of communicating well with Cousins.
I think he's been fighting his shot a little bit.
Тут, блядь,
Not getting
стою.
many of them to drop right now.
Нихера себе.
Tries from 10.
Тут, блядь.
They grab their own miss. Expanding his range.
Забил. Нет,
Deep two from
забил.
Jennings. And the Bucks miss again.
Фол, пиздец.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. The Bucks have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
And this year they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
And the second free throw, good.
Блядь, я тут стою.
And here is
Ты
Brooks.
видишь, что я могу забить? Я ну, конечно, сейчас промажу.
No good on that last second attempt there. And so that
Ты
brings the
видишь,
first
ты все
half
будешь стирать подряд.
13.
Просто всем подряд.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know anything can happen. Nice game, great performance by Brandon Jennings.
Я,
So
блядь,
far,
перед тобой
this is
стоял,
a
мне, блядь,
different
этот
role than normal,
блядь, пас.
but he's done a nice job as
Давай,
this team's
стрельбу забил,
playmaker.
ходим,
And
забил,
all of it's
сука.
worked for the most part. I mean, he might not be known as a dime dropper, but after this game he will be.
Не, все. Надо меньше мата.
Keith Smart to start the second half. The Cobra in at the 3. Robinson at 4 with Cousins at the 5. Brooks out there with Salmons. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Забил.
Well,
Yeah,
last
so that-
season, with the emergence of point guard Isaiah Thomas, the Kings moved
Yeah,
Tyreek
тут
Evans to
стою.
a small forward position.
Ну, конечно,
Evans
надо
said,
пройти.
I'm trying to figure it out. I am so used to
Хотя я мог
having
сейчас
the ball in
трошку
my
залить.
hands, but I'm working on it. Coach Keith Smart said, we're asking him to make sacrifices, and if he invests, it's going to help all of
Какой
us.
нахер фол?
Guys learning to play off the ball, a work in progress for Evans.
Well, it makes some sense, Doris. Evans really a scorer first, and developing that jump shot will allow him to be more effective off the ball. We'll see how it works out. Tyreek Evans is checked in for Sacramento. Gooden dishes to Ellis. It's blocked. And that one's good by Gooden.
And that's the way it's been. There's big margin for them in the rebounding
Дай
category.
мне
You know,
пас.
sometimes you got to get down and dirty and do the dirty work. And this one,
Дай
they've done it,
мне,
and it's made up
ёбаный
on the
пас.
scoreboard in a big way.
And Brooks is checked in for John Salmons. Hit his foot.
Ой,
And they're saying he kicked the ball.
А, я уже у нас кикбол. Ну, сука, тут стою. Чё ты,
Here
да
is Brooks,
ебать.
averaging 14 points a game. Backing down his Cousins. And he lays it straight in.
Красавчик с фолом.
Cousins has got 6.
Только Тимарек,
I'm sure they'd like to
пробей
get more shots
оба.
like that one. Yeah, there aren't many players with the combination of
пробей,
size and
Тимарек,
strength
Тимарек
and
разбил.
skill as DeMarcus Cousins.
Ну,
He's
я
a great
сказал.
rebounder. He can
Петро,
pass, he
не
can knock
попал.
down a jump shot. So this kid can do it all. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Забил.
I agree, and with his length, you might want him to be more of a
Вот
shot
так вот
blocker,
надо
Steve.
играть.
He's
По
one of the best in
шаре.
the league at taking charges, and that's surprising for a guy of his size.
Не
Boy, you
забил.
have to feel a little sorry for Kings fans. I mean, you think about what they've been through the last year or so. It looked like the team was all set to move to Anaheim. That fell through. Then there was a reprieve for
Right,
Sacramento.
right.
They thought they had an exciting new arena deal. That fell apart, and now it's kind of back to square one. Nobody seems to know what's going to happen with this Kings franchise.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Just a roller coaster ride for Sacramento
просто.
Kings fans. Steve, you're right. Really, what I imagine the team wants is just to have some certainty of where their future is. You know, Clark, that's a big thing for any town, any team.
Without question,
Это
Kevin,
ключевое.
anytime there's rumors
Я
swirling
крыл
about
его,
the team as to
дебил.
where it's going to be located, it can't be good for anybody associated with the organization, especially the players.
Here's the Cobra. Kept alive. No good from Cousins.
He just hasn't been able to build any momentum in this game.
Huge play. Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, aggressive too.
Ну я тут стою.
That's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
The smart replay really gave you a good look at the action.
Спасибо, такой добрый.
Here's the Cobra. A three-pointer off the mark.
And this is why they have the big lead. The rebounding has been dominant.
You know, guys, the +8 rebounding, I don't think it tells the whole story. I mean, they've been the more physical team from the outset. That's been the difference, their physicality. A lot of turnover on Houston's
Ни хрена себе забил 3 очка.
He got sent over to the Bucks, who desperately needed a center. And he might just be their man. He gives them a defensive anchor, and he's a good rebounder, too.
Ну
And
давай, давай.
defensively, guys, they've lost something since halftime. I mean, they've given up open looks. They've got to buckle down and get some stops here. Play with some urgency.
That's a shot
Ни
he doesn't
хрена.
shoot very often. The Cobra's got 8 points here in this quarter. Bucks leading by 12.
And the Bucks obviously hoping D'Alembert will be a big factor for them. You know, they've got the scoring at other positions, particularly in the backcourt with Jennings and Monte Ellis. So what they need more than anything is a defensive anchor. D'Alembert could be that man. And the offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layups. Earn it from the line.
The free throw drops for Gooden.
You know, when you've got the kind of speed the Bucks have in their backcourt, you really want to try to push the tempo a bit, and they did just that with Monte Ellis and Brandon Jennings. They were second in the league in field goal attempts.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Udo's checked in for D'Alembert. Tobias Harris comes in for Mbamute. And
Охренеть.
Cedric in for Brandon Jennings. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Fellas, last season, the first since Scott Skiles took over as head coach in Milwaukee that the Bucks were not in the top half of the league in defensive efficiency. Coach Skiles is looking to turn that back around, and he talked about his defensive philosophy. He said, look, the perimeter players in this league are very gifted with the ball, and almost all of them are great athletes. So you've got to be on. You've got to be competitive and stay in a stance. Your footwork has to be impeccable. What we challenge our guys to do from the first day of camp is
Охренеть,
guard
3 трёшки
guys
подряд.
3 dribbles. If you can do that, we'll get the help there. Kevin, sounds simple, not easy to execute.
Well, Coach Skiles always challenges his teams defensively. Thanks, Doris.
He has taken over this game, guys. I don't know what else you can say about it.
Here's the Cobra, and it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. Here's Udrich. There's the dish to Gooden. Over Thomas. No good from the wing. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digit.
Это вообще не
Welcome back.
скажешь.
Fourth quarter action starting up, and we're going to send
Трёшки
it over to
подряд.
Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game segment. Doris?
Hey, Kev, the uncontainable game in this one goes to the Bucks. No problems for them so far in this one as they have played a seamless game. You'll have to think they'll be able to keep going here in the fourth.
And thank you, Doris. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got. Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis comprise the backcourt. Luke Richard and Mbamute
Нет,
out
это
there with
потрясающе.
Sanders. And it's D'Alembert in at the center, filling out the middle. And Mbamute, the pass to Jennings. Can't get it to go. So the Kings will take it the other way. This game against Milwaukee here, it's their first look at the Bucks.
Yeah, these two teams aren't real familiar with each other, guys. Coming from opposite conferences, this is the first of just 2 matchups all season.
Drew Gooden is checked in for Larry Sanders. The Kings also at the sub. Salmons is checked in.
Well, Robinson is just a
Brad
physical
Yelp.
specimen. And look at those shoulders. The big thing with him is when he plays hard, when he's attacking the rim as an offensive rebounder and chasing down loose balls, he can have a major impact on the game.
Yeah, no question about it, Steve. And he'll bang with just about anybody, too. I mean, he's got a good nose for the ball. He rebounds well on both backboards. And I think he's improved as a shooter, at least out to 16 feet.
And just to stay for a moment with that,
Нет,
these interconference games typically have a different feel to them, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. Sometimes we see some cautious play, tentative play in the first half as the teams kind of feel each other out a bit.
Goes up on the wing. Rebound, Milwaukee. Gooden's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. They can look forward to the Quicken Loans Arena after this game in a matchup against Cleveland. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that Cleveland game turns out.
The drive by Jennings. Another shot. The shot by Gooden is no good.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that.
Here's Brooks. Good.
If he gets a glimpse of an opening, he's going to take it right to the rim.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Scott Skiles was going over with his team. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our move, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
Leno Udrich, who's checked in for Milwaukee. Here's the Cobra. Fires from deep. Here's Cousins. It's rebounded by Ellis.
Черт, опять не забили.
13.
Ладно, сюда же я больше не буду забивать.
Hits off the drop step. Ellis has got 4 this quarter.
You know, we saw him struggle with his shot in the first half, but here in the second, he's managed to turn it around and be much more efficient.
Here's Cousins, and so he earns a trip to the line.
Давай, пробей красное.
Well, the question for DeMarcus Cousins has never been talent. It's just about maturity and consistency. Early last season with Sacramento, there were reports that he had asked the Kings organization for a trade. They responded by basically telling him he needed to grow up. But you know what was encouraging was that he really played better as the season went along. He's got a ton of talent. If he can ever put it together, he could be an all-star.
And Udrich kicks to Dallenberg. Baseline try. The feed to Gooden. Goes back up. Buries the jump shot. And the Bucks lead by 15.
That's a lot of height for the defense to have to deal with.
You know what, guys? I mean, especially against a guy with his touch.
Here's Robinson. He dishes it to Cousins. And stolen by
Удивился.
And here's the fast break. Udrich leading the way. And Baamute. And that's the devastating one-handed jam.
They're looking good here, adding to this lead.
Yeah, you know, time winding down here, the score and the clock clearly in their favor.
And you go back to Cousins last season, he improved his scoring and Clark his rebound.
And I think he started to really take better advantage of his strength inside, Kevin. He has a lot of speed to do a lot of different things as an inside player. But his size, strength, and good hands make him special.
Gets the bucket. And
something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Ellis kicks to Udrich. Back to Ellis. It's good. This time the assist from Udrich. And now 24 points for Ellis.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
And the basket by Thornton.
That's all the space he needs, guys. He'll make you pay every time if you give him that shot.
The pass to Udrich. Back to Ellis. And another basket for Milwaukee.
Wow, has he caught fire this
У него в 2 раза больше очков, чем у меня. Ну дай мне пару
Over Ellis. Thornton no good. Bucks have gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Udrich dishes to Dallenberg. That's good.
And that one should remove all doubt about the outcome of this game. This thing's over.
Now it's just a matter of what the winning margin's going to be.
From deep, Thornton. Rebound, Milwaukee.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Offensive rebound.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
But they get it back.
Дай
And Cousins kicks to Thornton.
мне.
From deep
Then go
three-point
ball.
range, from
Go
beyond
ball.
the arc, and then some. And so it's the Bucks taking care of business.
Да, вообще играть нельзя.
You guys got blown out, second game in a row. How does this team recover from this?
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. It's
Я
one
буду
thing to
это
have
все
one bad
время.
game, but 2 in a row? Coach ain't gonna be happy about this one. I expect quite a bit of running and early morning practice in
Я
our
буду все
future
время
after
на
that
A теперь
performance.
нажимать.
We gotta do something to right this ship.
Ну ладно, всем спасибо за просмотр, подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, оставляйте комменты, всем пока и удачи!